fight for India.
2nd of October 1869, at a place called Porbandar, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born. Mahatma is a term that means great soul. It's a religious title, sort of like a saint in Christianity in India. He's called the father of the nation and also Bapu, which means father. His father was the chief minister of Porbandar, while his deeply religious mother was a devoted practitioner of Vaishnavism. He had a pretty normal childhood, but at 13 his parents arranged a marriage for him, and soon enough, at the age of 19, he left home to study law in London at the Inner Temple, one of the city's 4 law colleges.
He returned to India and set up a law practice in Bombay, but the concept was unsuccessful.
He soon accepted a position with an Indian firm that sent him to its office in South Africa along with his wife and their children, who remained in South Africa for nearly 2 decades. He started experiencing racial prejudice against Indians, which drove him to start his work in civil rights.
As a lawyer in white-ruled South Africa, Gandhi had won rights for the 75,000 Indians living there. He did this by using a new form of protest that he called satyagraha, derived from the Sanskrit words meaning truth and force. Gandhi firmly believed that people could never win their rights through violence. Satyagraha was more than just a political tactic for Gandhi. It was a moral force, and it had gained him thousands of followers back home.
He took his work and decided to lead the fight for Indians' independence against the British Empire. He organized several non-violent civil disobedience campaigns. The campaigns would include refusing to work, sitting in the streets, boycotting the court, and more. These protests seem small, but when most of the population does them at once, they can have a large impact. Because of that, Gandhi was in prison several times for organizing these protests. But the British government would eventually release him because the Indian people had grown to love Gandhi, and the British were scared of what would happen if they let him die.
One of Gandhi's most successful protests was called the Salt March. When Britain put the tax on salt, he led the famous Salt March to the Arabian Sea to campaign against salt taxes. Him and thousands of Indians decided to walk 241 miles into the sea in Dandi to make their own salt, in which nearly 600,000 people were arrested, including himself.
Among its potential gifts, untold quantities of salt, waiting to be distilled. But for the poor of India in the early 20th century, even this basic necessity of life, salt, was not a given. It was being heavily taxed by their British rulers. Indians could even be thrown in jail for just making or selling this vital preservative.
He was released and continued to lead more campaigns and hunger strikes.
He announced his resignation from the Congress only to serve it better in thought, word and deed, as he stated that dominating the Congress was also a species of violence he wanted to refrain from.
India was finally free from British rule thanks to the years of non-violent resistance led by Gandhi. Followed that was the division of India and Pakistan occurred despite Gandhi being opposed to this concept, seeing as it was contradicting his idea of unity amongst Indians of all religions.
Cyril Radcliffe, a British lawyer who had never been to India, was tasked with drawing up the borders. He was given just 36 days to put together the partition project. Using outdated maps and census records, his committee came up with this: India, West Pakistan, and East Pakistan, which would later become Bangladesh.
According to The Guardian, Gandhi was speaking with someone, then the assailant pulled out a pistol and fired 3 times at point-blank range into Gandhi's chest, stomach, and groin. Gandhi died at 5:40 p.m., about half an hour after he was shot. Even after his death, he continues to inspire millions of people around the world with his words and work.
Thank you for watching and be